What would your porn name be?
Dankus Derp Lord.
Dankus Derp Lord.
No, I'd be Kuwait Grip. It's just that's the trip.
The first thing you do when you land on a deserted island is burn your boat.
If you couldn't rip a dude's guts with your bare hands, not a zombie, why would zombie make you be able to do it?
You're like a bird, basically.
Yeah, well, you have no idea how I can fly, man.
I dare you to challenge a bird to anything.
Everyone has toilet water coming
Either,
through. All right. It cut that off early.
it just cut, right?
It was like, you know what? We don't need to see that.
That's good.
All right. Well, we're on. So
We didn't even get time to prepare. I really needed
I was
those.
prepared.
That last 12 seconds of the intro.
Oh, all right. Well,
Because it's like, it was not toilet water. That's my cue. That's my cue every fucking
the
episode.
toilet water thing hypes me up.
It was not toilet water. Because I'm like, dude.
I can play it again.
Yeah. Let's go back. Can you skip to just the end of the intro?
No.
We have to do the whole intro?
I mean, it would play the whole thing, but who's to say it won't cut it off again? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we could just prank someone with toilet water.
Yeah. Well, it's up. Let's take a vote.
I'm dialed in.
Play it
I'm
again.
dialed in now. We've said toilet water
We can
enough.
play it again. We can play it again.
Let's play it one more time.
All right. Let's play it. Let's play it.
Let's just play it one more time.
What would your porn name be?
Dankus Derp Lord.
Dankus Derp Lord.
No, I'd be Kuwait Grip. It's just that's the trip.
The first thing you do when you land on a deserted island is burn your boat.
If you couldn't rip a dude's guts with your bare hands, not a zombie, why would zombie make you be able to do it?
You're like a bird, basically.
Yeah, well, you have no idea how I can fly, man.
I dare you to challenge a bird to anything.
Everyone has toilet water coming through their ceiling at one
It
point.
wasn't toilet water.
Don't give them clear shot.
Yeah,
All
there
right,
it
there
is.
we go.
Now I'm fucking dialed in, boys.
Yeah, I heard the toilet water thing.
clear shots.
Yeah,
We could do the whole toilet water thing again.
Let's do it one more time.
Yeah, I'm
shots
honestly,
of
I've
toilet
got to
water.
clean my glasses.
Okay. All right. One more time. Hold on.
What would your porn name be?
Dankus Derp Lord.
Dankus Derp Lord.
No, I'd be Kuwait Grip. It's just that's the trip.
The first thing you do when you land on a deserted island is burn your boat.
If you couldn't rip a dude's guts with your bare hands, not a zombie, why would zombie make you be able to do it?
You're like a bird, basically.
Yeah, well, you have no idea how I can fly, man.
I dare you to challenge a bird to anything.
Everyone has toilet water coming through their ceiling at one
It
point.
wasn't toilet water.
Don't give them clear shot.
All right. Cool. What was that? 3 times?
Well, at least we know it's not like broken.
Yeah. Well,
It is weird that it did cut the first time,
yeah.
like right away.
Yeah, that was weird.
But
What are you gonna do?
yeah, welcome to Clear Shots.
That's tech. We can watch it one more time.
I'm set with this.
Okay, I think we're good.
Maybe when we come back from break, because I think eventually we'll get to a point where it gets so ironic that we literally just watch the intro for an hour and then we go back to our day.
Yeah.
Like it will get to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
We got Ill Bill, the Dr. D is in the house.
Thank you for
He's back.
First time
It's
in
been-
the new studio.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Yeah.
What,
was probably-
like a year, 2 years maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was like almost a year, but like we had a gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on.
Yeah. But we have these new microphones, which is cool.
Yep.
We also, I have to mention this, the wrestling podcast that we're doing is on a different channel now. So if you're like looking for it or whatever, it moved. It's got its own channel. You can find it on the website.
Yep.
So go do that. Like the thing with this show is it doesn't have an audience. Like it doesn't have a specific audience.
It doesn't have an audience.
No.
You could have, yeah.
Well,
no.
it does. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
it
guys are
doesn't.
hitting like mid double digits now. I mean, that's
Yeah.
you're doing better than before. It seems like.
It's good for
I
like
think-
our shorts. Like a lot of the social media like quick videos they all get views.
Yeah,
always.
and then like we are like, if you look at YouTube, it's like, what are they doing? And it's like, well, we're also like literally everywhere else. So like all put together, it's probably
right
a few thousand
together. Yeah,
which isn't nothing.
No,
but it's also like, that's what my favorite part about this is.
And like, what? Honestly, how many of them are Puerto Ricans?
Most, if not all of them.
Yeah.
You walk around a Puerto Rican resort and just expect favors, man.
Yeah,
that's really
how it is. That's what it's all for.
Yep.
So this is what being a colonizer feels like.
Jesus, yeah,
that's colonizing.
But I think really what it comes down to is how are we going to keep flooding content into the airwaves?
Yeah, like we need to like pollute the airwaves.
Yeah, I'm going full scorched earth.
A cultural victory.
Yeah. I'm looking for a Pyrrhic victory. And but yeah, so expect to see a lot of just random stuff coming up because we're gonna need to be throwing stuff into the algorithm, and I finally am gonna try to start doing things.
Like we're gonna have content, like because so. Like with both podcasts, I was able to post every day.
Yeah.
And now with them splitting, each one's posting once like every other day, basically. So it's going to be a little like we're going to have gaps, which is nice because we do like Clear Shots plays. We do like tear jerkers when we have time. But if we do, we can throw it in on those
That's
days,
the number one thing. Yes, I know.
It's like
tear jerkers is coming back. And I know that everyone's waiting for me. And it is my fault, 100%. However, it's coming. It'll be out when it's out.
Yeah,
we like that.
We got plans. We got some lists and stuff.
So yeah, we got more tear jerkers. We got Clear Shots plays. We got Evil West plays. We got fucking cool VR stuff. I'm gonna start rambling into the microphone.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of weird shit. So get ready. We're coming at you from all angles.
Doing a lot of pointing.
Yeah.
Microphone ramblings,
stream of consciousness bullshit. It's gonna be off the cuff.
Yeah.
Hey, you're gonna have to make a fucking a voluntary motion to listen to what we have to say, and if you don't, you don't. But
you gotta have a producer who looks like they're being held hostage.
Yeah, that's what we have Seth for.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of being held hostage, I keep watching these Snap-on videos, right? So Snap-on, like the tool brand.
Yep.
And they are on like Instagram, and there's like a guy who there's like a whole bunch of lore that like the fans like think that this one guy is being held hostage on the bus, on the tool bus, portable sales bus or whatever, because he's like this guy called Manny. And they've called him another name before in like past reels. So like you go ahead and he's just like a customer, but now they're starting to play with the lore and he's being like, he's like buying a hammer and they're like, what are you going to do with that, Manny? And he's like, I'm going to try and get off the bus. So like they read the comments and they're like catering to the fucking, that's what you got to do. It's like WWE, you know what I'm saying? You gotta listen to the fans and do what they want.
Yeah.
I fucking love that kind of shit. And everybody's like clamoring for Manny. And then they post like regular tool videos like, hey, check out this wrench, But people are like, fuck this, Manny. We want Manny. And he's always got like a death metal t-shirt on and shit. Like
10 years from now, that dude's gonna be like Jake from State Farm and everybody's gonna fucking hate him.
Yep. Well, Jake from State Farm is like a half black guy now for some reason. You know what I mean? Because originally it was not.
Originally it was me.
Well, it was just some guy.
Right.
Like regular white guy that's there or whatever.
Well, no, and then it was Cliff Paul. When Chris Paul was playing for the Clippers, he was in the fucking State Farm commercials.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they had Chris Paul's twin brother Cliff Paul.
No,
is the fucking guy.
I swear to God.
One of the things I said, and this is going to be a very hasty transition because I cannot wait any longer. I said this about 35 minutes ago, Bill. I said I'm so excited to have Bill on the podcast because we're about to talk about sports with somebody that can talk about sports with us.
Oh, you want?
No offense to anybody else on the show.
He's gonna go into sports, guys.
But I really wanted to go into sports, and I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about the Celtics being up 3-0 in the finals?
I knew it. It's not a surprise. Fucking right at the beginning of the season, we got Damian Lillard. My first reaction, it doesn't matter. As soon as they got Drew Holiday, you knew what was going to happen.
Mhm.
I mean, they have basically a big five. So,
Yeah.
like, who's going to beat them?
It's pretty crazy. I was listening to Doc Rivers and Bill Simmons today talk about how fucking Jaylen Brown is like the number one guy on that team, and he's finally making it known. And I kind of feel like that's not fair to Jason Tatum at all, because Jason Tatum has always been the magnet for the criticism.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like
Yeah, but you want that. You want like a scapegoat.
you want
guy.
like a fucking lightning rod guy.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
You
That's
want
all
like
they
an
have
Isaiah
is that.
Thomas kind of guy, I guess.
It's just like hockey teams. They want like an enforcer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I forgot you were a Bucks fan for a split second. I thought you were a Knicks fan for whatever reason. I don't know why I thought that.
Oh,
But Doc Rivers
thank
is your
God.
coach now.
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah. Glenn.
Glenn.
He's lost the right
Yeah,
to
that's
be
right.
called
Yeah, he's
Doc.
Glenn Rivers now.
Glenn Rivers. Glenn in parentheses.
Yeah. It's man. I'm a Pistons fan, and I'm not even jealous of the Bucks. Like
How did you become a Pistons fan?
oh man.
What was that?
So it's all because I'm a Red Wings fan because of Dr. Cox from Scrubs, and then the Pistons won the championship against Kobe and Shaq, and then I was like, yeah, Pistons. Then that was it. That was 20 years ago, and apparently I hate them. But like, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna turn him up a little.
What are the Pistons really like? Couldn't be like the Detroit Cylinders or the fucking Gaskets.
Right? I think actually they should be called. Well, their old logo in the 90s was sick because it's like a mechanical horse with tubes and fucking pipes coming out of it.
Oh yeah,
And it looks like it's like a horse made of engines.
fire.
Yeah. I
But-
missed the old Anaheim Ducks logo.
The
The
Mighty
yeah.
Ducks.
Yeah. I also missed the old Dallas Stars jerseys with the
Mhm.
fucking like actual star on it. That was sweet. I don't understand why they changed that. Green Bay has had the same uniform for so long. And
Yeah.
they're never gonna change that.
Same with like Dallas and Oakland.
Yep.
Or Vegas.
There's a lot of wild alts now
Yeah.
that I've seen that are coming out for this year.
Do you see the Vikings one, or like the white and
white
silver? That's actually pretty sick.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The NFL's weird, man. They always have a way of getting me back in.
Did
I
you see that,
fucking
like-
hate it to death.
They're
Yeah.
going to where's the
They're going to Rio de Janeiro.
okay, so
Eagles
Brazil.
Steelers are going to Brazil.
Eagles Packers.
Or Eagles Packers, and they're being
So-
told not to wear green.
They send two green teams. And they go, guys, don't wear green. What? Why?
To a country
Oh.
whose flag is green.
Yeah, true. Oh, because there's just like a bunch of gang violence that's like related to like green. So anyway, good luck. And then they go, what are we wearing? I mean, what are they gonna do? Like wear a fucking? What they have to do is, I think they mean on the street, but for the game, you could have the Eagles wear their black.
That's probably what they're gonna do.
and then
They're
have
gonna
Green
the
Bay
Eagles
wear the white.
black, and then
it's
like-
just so stupid.
I think the funniest
Send
thing
the
is-
Chiefs in the fucking.
I think the two funniest demographics to represent America are Eagles fans and Packers fans.
yeah.
That's the two fun. That's the that's the best 1-2 punch of demographic you could get. That's the Kobe and Shaq of fucking a town up, dude.
Eagles definitely.
No, because Packers fans are just gonna show up and they're gonna be like, "Where's all the beer and where's all the extra sausage that you guys?"
I would think that's more of a Bills. Bills would be more.
Packers
on
are going to
that
be
level.
sausage, beer, and
Yeah,
cheese.
cheese for sure.
And then if they don't have any in
But they're
Brazil,
also-
they're going to show the natives how to, they're going to have a fucking full-on like industrialization
Yeah.
revolution for
Well,
sausage.
they're also like disconnected, like Wisconsin people. You know what I mean? What goes on in Wisconsin? Does anything happen?
Red Letter Media and Packers games. That's all I know.
Yeah, I think that's it.
And the
So
Wisconsin,
I feel like,
the
A lot of
Wisconsin
farming.
Badgers just fucking growing offensive linemen in the fields.
yeah,
That's
I
about
just.
it.
I'm
I
pretty
feel like
sure
there's not much going
Wisconsin
on.
is one of those states where it's got like the one big city and then a few others, and then like the other 80% of it is just fucking woods where nobody lives. I'm pretty sure.
I think
Yeah.
Wisconsin is basically just New York.
Yeah,
but it's
pretty
just
much.
shaped differently. And there's no New York City.
Yeah, I think Michigan is like that too, kind of.
Yeah. All the Great Lakes regions are like that.
Yeah, Michigan is kind of like that. Yeah, anything like north.
North of the
northeast
Mason-Dixon
us.
line.
Yeah. Well, not that, but
North of the Mississippi.
I don't know. It's like Vermont and shit, like Maine. No one knows what the fuck's going on up there.
Lobsters and
Murders,
shit.
probably. You know what I mean?
I don't think people get killed up there.
I
feel like everybody in New England is just on Valium at all times.
I just feel like up in Maine, there's probably a guy who's like killing a bunch of people, and no one really knows about it because they just go to the grocery store and then they come home and they have like a
Hour
local
each
paper.
way.
Yeah, there's like a local paper that like tells you what roads are being worked on or whatever. Like it's a simple life.
Oh, yeah,
You know, it's actually funny because I was trying to find the Yukon Huskies subreddit, and I stumbled upon the state of Connecticut subreddit, and the number one upvoted post was, "Are they ever going to stop working on Route 2?" And it had like 8,000 upvotes. That's amazing. You know, you go to any other state and it's all like crime, gang violence, and drugs. And in
Yeah.
Connecticut, it's like, are they going to stop doing construction?
Yeah.
Where's my Xanax?
And the Connecticut Post, like the headline every day is still working.
Yeah.
Oh, my understanding in Connecticut that you never have to wonder where the Xanax is at.
It's in the water.
Yeah.
Probably has to be.
But yeah.
It's probably not
fucking-
even supposed to be there. It just fucking showed up with all the other bullshit.
Yeah. That's how it works. It shows up with all the bullshit.
They're just flushing all their fucking shit down the toilet. Like, oh, this expired 2 days ago. It's no good anymore.
Yep. Give it the old flusheroo.
I guess that's actually like a big problem with people like flushing their fucking medication down the toilet, like
it is.
straight up poisoning the
Because
fucking
what
water.
are you doing? Where do you think that goes? It doesn't just go nowhere. Like it doesn't. It doesn't just disappear down the fucking hole. That it's the toilet hole goes somewhere, dude. Like what the fuck? You can't just start flushing a bunch of medication down the toilet.
Oh,
Fucking
man.
psycho.
Oh, but I
Also,
don't even know if
why?
I should- Oh god, it was
Use
one of
it.
the. I saw a question. It was on a fucking Sopranos meme, and I can't get it out of my fucking head. It's like, would you rather your toilet craved your shit or resented you for it?
Craved all the day.
Oh. Well, I don't know. It depends on like what emotes the toilet can provide. Like, does the toilet like let me know somehow?
Yeah, is the
I assume it
toilet?
has to.
Is the
Or
toilet
else-
gonna harass-
or else there's no.
My bathroom is only like 10 yards away from my living room. Is the toilet going to be able to harass me from there? Because I think either way I lose.
You just hear its muffled cries.
Yeah.
It's like a traumatic experience
I'd rather have it
every
like
time.
crave my shit because I'd be that thing will
I'll
be
fucking-
set,
yeah.
dude. That thing will be set.
I'll light that motherfucker up.
Yep.
It's
I'll have a
gonna
cheat
be.
day. I'll have a cheat day once a week. I don't take any of my meds, and I'll just fucking shit black chew tobacco for 4 hours straight. That's what we'll do.
Yeah. Yep. But like, I wonder if like smaller shits more frequently would be more satisfying to the toilet.
No,
or
because
if,
then
a
that's like
large
you're like
one-
tapering it. You're like giving it a taper.
You're
Right.
hitting it with the fucking dim sum.
Oh, it's like a sustaining thing. It's like you
Yeah.
want like a hard hit, and then
I feel like my toilet would OD. No matter which toilet it is, I feel like it would OD immediately.
yeah. I love like peeing without like touching your wiener and just like loosely peeing.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah, that's pretty
You know.
good.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, it's just so fucking. It's totally different. It's a totally different ball game. Like it's more relieving for some reason
Mm-hmm.
if you can just kind of spray it all over the place. Peeing outside.
That's a good one, but I feel like that's a little overrated sometimes.
Yeah, but you can do it a lot looser because you don't have to be as accurate.
You don't have to be accurate at all.
No, you could really.
I mean,
just-
you can
you can
piss on
spin
your
swivel your hips and
Yeah.
stuff, and that's cool.
That is cool
That is cool.
to see how far you can fling, dude.
Have you ever been like drunk or high and you go to piss, but you still have like the mental block of like as if your dick is still in your pants and you have to like consciously
yeah.
overcome it in order to piss?
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to be like, no, I can see it, and it is out. It is
Yeah.
out.
It's like I hear old Ben in the back of my head, and he's just like, "Use the force."
Sometimes it works the other way.
Yeah.
It's an old Ben. I thought you meant like the rice guy.
No. That's Uncle Ben.
Okay, that is right. Oh no, that's Spider-Man. He dies. Spoiler alert.
They took him off the box after the movie.
Yeah.
And that's why Spider-Man is Mexican or something now.
Is he Mexican now? They did maybe too many Spider-Mans. You know what I mean? I feel like they maybe did too many of those.
You know, I always forget there's like a whole second Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
they
never
got,
seen any
like-
of them.
They got
Andrew
like a Peter
Garfield.
Parker and another dude. What is it, Miles something?
Miles Morales.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah,
He's
yeah.
cool.
Well, so they're probably not bad, and I'm sure they're like someone's screaming at their TV or whatever right now.
Yeah, I
going,
think the animated ones are supposed to be like really fucking good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, I heard that they are good. But my Tobey Maguire is my Spider-Man, and he's the only one. Like what? He fucking nailed it. It was
Yeah.
sick.
Ain't broke, don't fix, dude.
Yeah. What are we doing here? I don't know. I think they blew it with the third one, which is part of the problem. It like just wasn't.
That's where he was the evil Spider-Man, right?
No,
They
that's
tried
where
to
he
bring
was the evil My Chemical Romance frontman.
That's right. Yeah, he had
Yeah.
the bangs.
Yeah, they did like the emo version, but
But like they did it like a training montage for some reason. He just like turns emo to like a soundtrack. Like,
well, did they like have Venom in that?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
why.
he was turning the black suit or whatever. And
Yeah.
you know, if you're gonna start dressing in black in the 2000s, that's all anyone can think about.
Right. Yeah, MCR.
But I'm gonna listen to some Rob Zombie and ignore a robbery.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have called it Spider-Man 3 Dragula.
Robbery, zombie.
It should have been like Tron Legacy, where it just plays Rob Zombie the whole time instead of Daft Punk.
Yeah.
And it's just Peter Parker web swinging around and killing
His
people.
name is just Rob. It doesn't mean you have to fucking start robbing. Gee. Dude. The fucking emo, like the emo style, for some reason has not come back. But like it was like cool at the time for some reason. It was like a Hot Topic. That's all they did.
Yeah.
They like built their entire brand on emo and goth style. Chains, like wallet chains and shit.
Dude, that's what you should do with the sleeves. You should get like those mesh sleeves to wear over the sleeves.
Oh, like the Jeff Hardy style.
Dude, double sleeve.
Yeah, you could do that. That would go over
Powerful.
pretty good with the high vis. But I don't know. Like, I think it's because like Panic at the Disco and like those kind of bands, they had like sort of a similar style to that. But then it like, because that's when it started dying, was around that time, which would be like,
Fallout Boy.
yeah, it started dying off, and then people just made fun of it.
I never really.
But there was like a very small.
3 Days Grace.
There was a small gap between skateboarders and then like goth and emo. There was like a real thin veneer.
in the before times.
Yeah. It was weird because you could do both. Like you could somehow pull off both because they always wore fucking Vans or they always wore skate shoes.
Yeah. I remember when I was emo and I had a pair of Etnies skate shoes
It
that
gets annoying when they do this.
were like,
when they do the fucking.
yeah, dude, I
everything.
hated that.
Yeah, it's too much.
But I had a pair of really cool Etnies that were like really expensive. I was really excited. I got to wear them for one day, and I got them stolen.
I wonder if Etnies are still around.
No, probably.
Chorizo's out there crying. at the
Prisoners
door.
are out there screaming for their group.
He's losing his fucking mind, bro.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. And then Hot
I've never-
Topic.
I've never
Is Hot Topic still a thing? Like,
I
do they
don't-
exist?
There might be like Sears now.
I feel like they moved like. Well, like you still see Spencer's once in a while. Like they still exist in malls. Like they exist in Destiny.
malls
I'm pretty
still?
sure.
I don't
Oh,
go.
shit.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't go to the mall.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
either.
I've
I
been
couldn't
to
tell you the last time
Destiny
I
in
went to the
years
mall.
because I don't want to get fucking thrown in the back of a U-Haul van.
Yeah, exactly. I think the last time I went was for like Dave and Buster's, or that's like the only area I go to though. Is
It's
like
the,
that
new
one.
spot that's
Yeah.
got the weird fucking the climbing
Yeah,
jungle gym area.
they have the
And the
go
Billy
karts and
Bees.
shit.
They got Billy Bees over there. Margaritaville, I think, just got shut down. I'm pretty sure
Yeah, they had
I
World
read
of
something
Beer
that
and shit.
World of Beer is shut down. That's the one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What they shut them down for? Too much beer?
Uh,
They didn't have enough
they
beer.
didn't have enough
Because
beer.
when I went there,
Mm-mm.
I asked for 3 different things, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't have that. Check out. Keep looking at the. Keep trying." And I'm going, "Okay. How about this one? No, nope. Okay. How about just give me whatever has the highest alcohol percentage right now?
Yep. That's how they
Because
get
I want to
shit,
forget that you could not provide. You couldn't hold up your end of the deal. Your whole
Yeah,
deal
it's more like-
is that you have a bunch of beers.
It's more
and
like,
then they give you a menu and they're like, "No, we don't have most of those
more like
actually."
Hemisphere of beer instead of world of beer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it's like some kind of existential philosophical thing. Like there's a world of beer and it is nothing. It's,
Like a
maybe,
Twilight
yeah.
we
Zone
live in
episode.
oblivion.
Yeah, it's a metaphor.
Yeah, the whole fucking place was just a front for illusion. It was just it's like one of those mirror mazes.
Now close your eyes and imagine the feeling of being drunk. That'll be $35.
That's
Yeah.
basically what it felt like going to get drunk at those places.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Because you get one beer and it's $35.
Yeah.
And then you're like, "I wish I was drunk." I'm kind of trying to imagine if I was. It's a shame.
Yeah, I remember fucking going, like when I still drank, going to Dave and Buster's before every trip to a Funny Bone show.
Yeah.
And it was like, I remember we figured out, because they stopped letting you do this, but we figured out it was way cheaper to pretend that you've never been to Dave and Buster's before and then sign up again. And then they give you like you just give them bullshit for like 20 minutes. You just bullshit with them for like 20 minutes, and then you get like $20 worth of fucking,
Yeah, they like load you up with credits for some reason.
yeah.
And actually like a lot of the credit, like it was actually kind of affordable.
Yeah. But I just thought it was funny that as soon as they caught on and stopped letting people do that, that was immediately when we were like, all right, we're done spending money here.
Yeah.
And we would just sneak booze into Dave and Buster's.
Well, the big thing was like they actually had like exclusive games and shit, and I think they
Dude,
still do.
yeah, they had the
Like
fucking
Fireteam Elite and shit like that, like the Halo game.
They
you
had
can't get it. You can only get it at like certain places.
They had the Aliens game too, where you play through the movies.
Yeah, they like licensed
shit's
these
sick.
arcade games to.
Well, and then I remember that place went really downhill when they started allowing kids there.
Yeah.
Because the whole fucking draw of Dave and Buster's was that it was 18 and up only. And then I remember it must have been like right after like everything opened back up from the pandemic, they were like, kids are allowed again.
You know, it honestly, like, that was the biggest takeaway I had from the pandemic was, like, number one, it was fucking stupid. No one had a fucking clue what was going on at all. The fucking, like, no one had a fucking clue what was going on. They would say they did. They have no idea. But the problem was it fucked so many, not only like it completely ruined local businesses, and that's just a fact and obvious, but it also fucked up like 24-hour McDonald's, and people are going like they don't even like I feel like people aren't even like clamoring for that.
We need all day breakfast. We need the 24-hour Walmarts.
Yeah, where's all the 24-hour stuff?
We
That
need
was like
fucking
a
places
big
where
thing.
kids aren't allowed.
Dude, a lot of places were 24 hours in 2019.
Yeah.
There was a barcade I went to once with Wes and Ashley when they lived in Rochester, and kids weren't allowed there. And then the most recent time I went there, post-pandemic, fucking filled with children.
Yeah,
And it's like, how am I supposed to have
Is it
fun
still a
getting
bar? It's
hammered
still got
in
a bar?
public?
Right.
It's a bar. It's like there's a bar and like a little mini restaurant, and then it's just like hundreds of fucking arcade cabinets.
if you're gonna do that though, it's like decide if you're a bar or an arcade. You can be a barcade, but that just means you can't let kids in.
It's so weird. Like,
Like,
you're sitting there trying to, like, I'm drinking a fucking Manhattan playing Austin Powers pinball, and all of a sudden there's like kids fighting over tickets, and I'm like, why am I here?
Yeah, and because they want to get the like sticky hand thing they can throw at the fucking wall,
And they're
or whatever.
just gonna lose it under the seat on the
Yeah.
way home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or they want the Superballs that they're gonna bounce once and it rockets into the atmosphere and then it's gone forever. I don't think I've ever had one of those for more than like a day. Because you just the only impulse you have when you get one is go outside and absolutely
Yo.
fucking just throw your hardest
Into
4-seam
orbit.
fastball at the ground.
That's how we should put satellites into orbit. With tiny little radio transistors inside a bouncy ball and just give it to some like 10-year-old baseball kid.
Yeah, I used to like the bigger heavy ones. Those were sick because you're not gonna lose them. But like you can put spin on them and shit, and they're fucking. I love when you spin it one way, and it comes back up, and it's spinning the other way. That's the science I used on that pool shot earlier.
I like the ones where like they have like the blinking lights inside, and so like they don't quite bounce right, and like you feel like you're gonna smash them when you fucking bounce them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What about
Dude, did anyone ever in the history of ever collect all of the football helmets, all the teams?
Oh yeah, no.
You know the little fucking like when you put the quarter in, you spin it. You get
Oh
the
yeah,
fucking
my dad
helmet.
has all those.
You got all of them.
He has all of them,
32.
yeah. They're in like a framed case. He even has
That's
the one.
sick.
He has. It's actually the old school set because it's still the Oilers and there's no Texans or
Dude,
Titans.
I would feel so anxious.
Yeah, he has.
The
that.
second I got like 4 of them, I'd be like, "Oh fuck, I gotta finish."
He's got
the
a
rest
bunch
this."
of cool shit.
Like the quarters.
Yeah, anything with like, oh dude, those like the chiclets. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Those machines with the fucking. Do they
I,
still have those?
yeah, guaranteed.
They have to, right?
The
I'm pretty sure Price Chopper does.
my favorite of all the old school football stuff is it's the old like Monday Night Football light up board game.
Oh shit!
You ever seen that before?
No.
It's
I don't
it
think
fits.
so.
It takes up probably most of the coffee table of space. It's probably like 3 feet by 1.5 feet or so, maybe 3 feet by 1 feet, 2 by 1. Who cares? Whatever. But it's got like these arms underneath, and it's like a grid pattern on top, and it's got these arms underneath where you sit on opposite sides of the field of each other, and while you move these arms around, it like picks a spot on the field, and then you push a button and it tells you what the outcome of the play is,
Oh shit! Okay.
and then like you manually move all the pieces on the
I think
field.
I've seen that.
It's really fucking sick, and it's one of those things that how does a fucking board game get it right better than fucking Madden?
I mean, in the like mid to late 80s, they killed it with board games because that's all you had until the Atari.
Dude, even
Yeah.
those digital LED, not even LED lights, but
Yeah,
like
the
those,
little ones,
those digital light up
baseball or
fucking
whatever.
games.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
those
yeah.
games are
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
I had the little baseball one. I fucking crushed that one. That
Yep.
one was wicked cool.
Yeah, it
the
was.
football one was hilarious because you could only run.
Yeah.
It was only I form.
Yeah.
It was like you were playing as fucking Nick Saban only.
I like when you play like a football game that like you control the entire team's directions all at once. You know what I mean? Like up means everybody goes up. I fucking love that.
Yeah.
But has anybody played the fucking hockey? Like it's like foosball, but with the hockey
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
I've never
yeah,
played
yeah.
that.
Oh, what,
yet.
like bubble, like the plastic bubble
Mhm.
over the
Yeah,
top?
I've never played it, but I've seen
It's
it.
fucking
before.
cool. It's really
it's
sick.
literally
Supposed to be
just
big in
foosball.
Canada.
Mhm.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's just Canadian foosball.
That shit's fun. I also love.
That's probably what it's called.
I just love normal foosball. Foosball's cool.
Yeah,
It's dangerous.
it's dangerous. It is dangerous. How
But,
so? How is it dangerous?
You can poke an eye out,
You're just shooting
cause a
balls.
domestic. Yeah, you can do a lot of
Yeah.
things.
I guess.
Just come catapult straight in the eye.
Well, you're not supposed to spin.
You gotta be wearing eye protection at all times. Really.
I have a lot of things that I'm excited about, and the biggest thing right now is the fact that NCAA football is coming back. Have you guys been keeping up with that?
Yeah, I've
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 gotten to
seen.
watch the video stuff, but
I haven't seen any gameplay yet. I've been reading about it, and all of the college football dudes on YouTube, like not the expert and whoever else is out there, are saying that it's gonna be fucking intense.
I hope so.
yeah, I've
And,
heard it's actually like a lot of the same team that made 14.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Yeah.
and they actually, all of the people from CFB revamped that have been doing shit with the emulation and mods, they had them on there to help with
Oh,
like
shit,
different
okay.
like HUD stuff, like HUD integration UI stuff. And
There's
then,
multiple commentary
sick,
teams.
Oh yeah, one of the commentators that he said that they took over 30,000 broadcasts worth of lines from all the between all of the it was like 30,000 games worth of broadcast lines are all injected in there with multiple teams. I think each conference has their own commentary team, maybe. I don't know. They really
Well, I
have
think
to.
it-
It
I
really
think-
has to be good because
I think from what I heard, they just do like night games or one commentary team, like a Saturday night.
that's
or whatever.
cool as fuck. It'd be cool if they did a game day
like
thing.
a prime time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Shoot your squirt and say your prayers.
Will Dove?
Yeah,
I love you.
Wes wrote that when he was here.
I
I don't know.
I'm
It
excited.
looks similar to Madden. Like I watched some gameplay. Like a lot of the tackles, like the animations and stuff are the same.
That's what I'm not excited about.
But they added like clap, snaps and shit like that, which is nice. But it's like, okay. So like the big thing they like wanted to bring back too was the crowd noise, factor.
The momentum stuff.
which like is a thing in Madden, but like rarely.
I
you
don't.
know?
I don't like the way that they do it in Madden.
Yeah, it's like barely there, really.
I actually
Really, you almost never notice it unless you're like down or you're in a really
like
close
mounting
game.
a comeback, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, so my receivers all of a sudden don't know how to run a route.
I think it has to do with momentum or something
Yeah.
like that. But their momentum system's all broken and shit.
The
The big thing I want to see is if they allow you to do draft classes from that
and put it in
game and put it in Madden.
next Madden. That'd be sick. I want to bring the triple option to Syracuse and go on a fucking World Tour Championship run for 4 years.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do. I might do that when I get home, actually, because I have CFB revamped booted up right now.
It's all booted right now.
It's the best. I wish. I mean, there probably are like full option playbooks in Madden, but the PC version of Madden is fucked up and never like loads the.
I'll tell you
community
right now,
files.
I have no idea how to run the option in Madden. It just does not work for me.
Really?
I
fucking
I
love
pick
it,
an
man.
option play, and you're supposed to either hold
I
A
run the
or
option with Phillip Rivers.
you're supposed to either hold A or not touch A.
Yep.
Okay, well, when I hold A, it hands it off. When I don't touch A, it hands it off. So what do I do?
It sounds like
It doesn't do a good job of like telling you, like it trains you and tells you. Wow, Chorizo needs to fuck off. I'm gonna go get him.
No, the RPO is what I had that same problem with more than the regular.
the read option is less annoying. I find the RPO to be super annoying.
Yeah.
But I like just having the pitch out options, shit like that.
Yeah.
And I really haven't played much. What's the Madden that's out now? 24. I really haven't played much.
Yeah, I only got to play that like twice, and it was mostly my buddy's fucking Ultimate Team challenges. So
No, I don't want to give in to their demands.
Dude, they have never been like this before.
No, well, he's really hitting the door. I'm gonna bring him upstairs and lock him upstairs. He really wants to come in and be on the show.
We'll just bring him in. I'll just have him sit.
No,
on my
I don't want to
lap.
bring him in because that's giving in
That's
to
true. That's true.
his demands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then he'll be like, "Oh, well, all I have to do is fucking throw a temper tantrum."
Yeah, I got to get rid of him. He's gone.
But yeah, so then I don't know. All the sports games I'm not sure about anymore. 2K24 I've been playing a lot of. NBA, not WWE. Although
Yeah.
WWE 24 is pretty solid.
I was thinking of picking up 2K because I saw it for like $20 at Walmart.
Wicked worth it for $20. I mean, I don't know what you do. I just do my league and just like do fucking simulated whatever.
Yeah. Well, I'm in this Discord server where this one dude, he just makes it. He basically gives us the template and fucking we all make our own custom characters and we draft them, put them on teams and play it out and shit. And
That's sick. Yeah, what I like to do is
They're gone. It's very sweaty and warm and weedy down here right now.
Oh, I'm pretty comfortable.
took one hit, a beat hit.
It's very.
I'll repack that.
It's very. It's like.
What
What I need
do
to get
is-
is like a vent. Like I need like an air vent.
I like to
Shoots all the
fucking
man out of the man out of this room.
What I would do is I like to make me in 2K where I'm just, I just make generic white guy with a beard and long hair and a headband, and then
I'm the worst at making players that look like me. It's impossible. Can't do it. I can't.
you're the easiest guy to make. What are you?
No, but
fucking
you
talking
can't. You
about?
can't. It's so hard to like.
You are literally the easiest guy to make.
No.
What is it? Was it Dragon's Dogma or the one where all the creative character ones were going viral? That
It's
looks
like
sick.
I don't even care how good your creative character is. Like, I'm so bad at like figuring out the dimension. Like, I would have to like take a profile picture of myself. Like, I'd have to be like, here's the front, here's the side.
Oh,
here's
to
the other side.
actually
like to
AI
mold
is-
your face.
Fuck
It's like
that,
similar
fuck
to
that.
what you look like.
No. You
No,
just
take the generic one.
You literally pick. You pick for me.
Yeah.
I pick usually generic white guy 3 or 4 because it's a
Yeah,
little
3 or
darker
4.
skinned.
Okay.
You would probably be guy 1 or 2.
I'm always almost as white. The second one in. I'm
But
always the
I
second
do
one.
like skin tone 3-4, right? And then I do beard, long hair, headband. Every game I play, not even bullshitting. Even Elden Ring right now, that's what my guy looks like.
You gotta keep going through. You hit like number 11 or 12, and there's just like a guy with no neck for some reason. That's what I go for.
Yeah. The only one I don't do that in is 2K, WWE 2K. But that's just because, like, I usually wear, like, a mask or something anyway, so.
No, in the WWE games, my guys always look the same, and it's literally just Edge, but with a beard and long brown hair.
Yeah.
Like all my 2K guys, I'm just Edge with brown hair.
Yep.
Same move set, everything.
My last 2K guy.
That's why I'm actually kind of glad he's not
I
in
think it was
24.
2K14 I had. I just had a dude in a fucking gorilla suit.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what's great about wrestling game.
The world's second strongest man.
like customization in those games is awesome. Creative wrestler is the best. It's always the best. But like, I love that your move set can just be like comprised of finishers.
Yeah.
If you like scroll, if you take enough time making a move set, I took like 3 hours the other day. And I was like, I'm just gonna make a cool moveset, and it's all super kick, spear, like fucking jackhammer, pedigree. Your regular moves are fucking 5-star frog splash.
Yeah, like
and
your
shit.
basic strike is just like a fucking roundhouse
Clothesline
kick.
from hell or some shit. Yeah.
I loved it was in all the SmackDown versus Raw era games where Undertaker had a grapple attack, which was you press circle and then the person you're grabbing punches you in the face twice and then you just automatically do a choke slam. Like you just
You get punched in the face twice.
Like your grapple initiates a full animation of them punching you in the face and then you going nope and then you choke slam them.
Okay.
It was so broken, dude.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, I remember always having it so like your just base running grapple attack is a spear or your base running kick is a fucking sweet chin
It
music.
has to be.
Because
and
then you
it's-
can win first blood matches immediately by just doing
Yeah.
super kicks over and over.
And if they don't have the actual finisher too, like they'll have a similar move. Like it'll be run, or it'll just say super kick 1 or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of sweet
Yeah.
chin music, and you just fucking use that.
My favorite is every wrestling game, I have to find the Canadian Destroyer because they call it something different in every game. Sometimes it's like Cyclone Flip Pile Driver. Sometimes it's Front Flip Pile Driver.
Fireman carry.
Yeah. Sometimes, like, I think in 24 it is just called the Canadian Destroyer, which it hasn't been called that in forever.
Yeah.
But that's just the only finisher
I always have to
ever
have that
run.
move that Goldberg used to do where he like does
where he's a
full
dick to
body
everybody.
press. He does a full body press and then they come down on his shoulder and he slams him forward. It's like I don't even know what the move is called. But he used to do that all the fucking time. It was fucking sick. Always have to have that. And then you can basically like have the most dangerous moves as your moveset. Just pile drivers constantly and fucking like Death Valley drivers and shit that's like it's shit that like they wouldn't even let you do now. Or at least WWE wouldn't.
Trying to think, dude.
They barely let you they wouldn't let you pile drive somebody anymore.
I don't think you're allowed to do tombstones, right?
Taker can, but they trust him. It's like other guys, you wouldn't be able to just tombstone somebody.
I want to say the jackhammer would be a vertical lift power slam.
It's a suplex to power slam. Yeah, it's like a stalling suplex to power slam.
You ever seen fucking Matt Morgan used to do it in TNA? You lift them like the vertical suplex lift, but then you basically like drop them forward and like drop them into a rock bottom. So they kind of like rotate into it.
Oh yeah, I have seen that. That's fucking cool.
That's a fucking.
I love that kind of shit. I want like anything like when you body press somebody and pull them and they're all the way above you. There's like a bunch of possibilities. It's just they have to be able to do that. You have to have a finisher that like not only you can do.
I think one of the dogs shit.
Oh really?
It smells like shit. You smell that?
No, I don't smell shit.
You smell that, Bill?
No.
Did you shit?
I wish.
We'll find out.
I think I should.
Find out when we get out there. I don't smell anything.
I'd like to think I would know.
Yeah, sometimes you shit and you don't know about it.
No, we're good.
No, I think we're good. Hold on, let me.
Let me mush it in real quick.
Yeah. Let me mash it.
Let me
around.
break the seal. But yeah, when you got a guy in that fucking front carry, you can do whatever the fuck you want. It's sick.
Yeah. Anyway, do you think balls always itch, or do they only itch because you're itching them, and it like wakes up the itch? Is that what's happening?
No, balls never itch technically.
Like
the sack itches. If your balls itch,
well,
that'd be
yeah,
a
that's
fucking nightmare.
That's what I'm saying. But
Can you imagine?
doctor
That's like one of the
spoken.
worst curses I can imagine. I curse you with itchy.
yeah, because that would be
The
painful.
nut itself itches.
Go,
inside
gadget! Turn my
yourself.
seminal vesicles into pipe cleaners.
It would be very painful and also difficult to do because it's very slippery in that general area.
Yeah.
If you're trying to grab a hold of a ball, but like the ball sack, right? Scrotum, scrotosis,
Mitosis.
something. Yeah, scrotosis, mitosis. That's a scientific term.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if like they always itch, but we just ignore it. You know what I mean?
I know,
Because
it's
when you
kinda
start
like-
itching your balls, you feel like you got to keep
Sort of
going.
like how you can always see your nose.
Yeah, like how you're always only breathing out of one nostril, but you never notice.
There's a lot of shit going on
You're only breathing out of one nostril.
most of the time. Yeah.
But
I don't
do
know
they? You
about
just get
that.
stuck breathing manually.
I think that's a myth.
Oh no, that's.
You know what isn't a myth? And this is the greatest thing you're gonna hear all fucking day.
I'm aware of your tongue's
Mike Perry
position
is
in your-
replacing Mike Tyson in the Logan Paul fight or
Yeah.
whatever.
Isn't that
Okay.
sick?
Or Jake Paul.
Isn't that going to be like the biggest fight of the year?
Mike Perry boxing Jake Paul?
More.
That's actually fucking awesome,
It's
dude.
going to be absolutely wild.
I think it's gonna be cool.
I know, but come on, people wanted to see Tyson.
Yeah, no shit. But I think if you're telling me we can't get Mike Tyson, okay, who do you have instead? They're like, oh, we just had the greatest bare knuckle boxer of all time.
No, we have the second greatest black fighter ever.
Literally.
Mhm.
Yeah, we have the guy. Yeah, exactly.
I guess. But I don't know.
He's probably still gonna lose because he's tiny. He's like 5'10", 5'11". I think
You're
Jake
losing
is
a
like
lot of
6'2",
pay-per-view numbers
6'.
is all I'm saying.
I mean, I'm not gonna pay for it anyway.
So it's going to be a
Well,
hell of
yeah.
a face-off.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just excited for Mike Perry. He's getting the bag now, dude. That dude is the face of Bare Knuckle Fight Club, and he's gonna be or Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, I think.
I'm just not like
What is it? Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship or Bare Knuckle Fight Club?
I think it's championship. I'm
champion.
not
It's got to
sure.
be championship. Fight Club's too fucking.
That sounds way too
It's
funny.
too raw.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, they got to put a condom on that name.
I got Mike Perry by knockout in the second round. You heard it here first.
Yeah. So do you think the balls itch or the?
No,
No,
the
balls don't
contract
itch.
Alright, I'll
is
check that
signed.
out.
There's
yeah,
no
I don't
shot.
think there's anything there.
I don't know. I feel like as soon as you start itching the balls, you're gonna itch them forever.
I itch mostly when I'm in the shower. When I get my loofah and I start scraping the fucking gunk off the gooch, and I'm like, and then it's raw.
but like you start doing it and it feels good, and then you
So
like,
I don't
keep
think
going
it
with
doesn't itch until you start itching. Yes,
It's
is
like
what,
taking
yeah,
a power
that's kinda
washer
wrong.
to a sidewalk.
dude, for real. I know it's crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
Just brown stuff washing on down the drain.
Yeah. Dude, I like breathe in so much aluminum dust at work now that like when I blow my nose after work, it's like black. It's like straight up black. It can't be good for you.
Yeah, no.
No, that's why they do like lung capacity tests at your physical and shit like that.
Yeah, dude, I breathe in pretty good, dude. I got pretty good lungs, to be fair.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, vaping is bad for you.
Yeah, I remember in high
Well-
school, I ran my best
well-
mile ever, the first one after I started smoking. Thought I discovered a life hack.
Yeah. Sometimes it makes you better. Sometimes it makes you stronger.
It's like, well, I must be expanding my lungs.
Yeah, kind of, right? Like, you kind of are, though. I feel like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
That's what they don't tell you.
I don't know. How often do you, like, take a full breath in and hold it?
Yeah, what if the secret to cardio was actually just breathing deep?
It kind of is. So people don't take a full breath. Like, you don't ever really fill your lungs. They're almost never full. Unless you consciously do it.
You know,
When you're breathing normally at a regular tempo, you don't use your entire lungs to their capacity.
you start to focus on your breathing and just accidentally start meditating.
Yeah. Which is literally all it is. Honestly, meditating is weird because you can just be like in a room and not be doing anything specific. And they consider that meditation. Just if nothing's happening and you're just in a state of mind where you want to basically just be thinking about nothing. Which is the idea. And that's hard because when you're trying to think about nothing, you're thinking about nothing. All right? So I feel like they're actually full of shit and that's not real because you're just thinking about nothing, thinking about nothing. I think they're actually full of shit and it's fake.
For me, it's a lot easier to meditate if I'm listening to Rick James or like
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, like yeah, exactly, like fucking butchered at birth or something like that.
Yeah, I'll throw on like
Like a good old Cannibal Corpse album.
yeah.
If I can like just listen to that and only that and that's the only thing that's coming in, that's meditation. Sometimes I feel like I'm in like a flow state when I'm listening to certain albums that I'm like I consider my favorite albums. You know what I'm saying? There's like and it's so cool because like music like carries nostalgia in a way that nothing else does.
Yeah.
There's nothing else that does that. If like if I wanted to remember a specific time period, a song is what will bring me back to that exact period. I know there's literally days there was like a breakup I had and I remember Ozzy Osbourne, Mama I'm Coming Home. I was listening to that song and that brings me back to like this like weird middle school time that I was in. And it like is very, very specific. You remember certain things, like things that you would not remember normally. If that song didn't exist, I wouldn't have those memories. Like you would remember maybe you'd remember the situation vaguely, but it wasn't like a significant enough event in my life where I would remember it like that. So like, and then like I think my favorite album of all time is Parallax 2 by Between the Buried and Me. And I listen to it and there's so much like, it brings back like all these times I've listened to it. But like also the period of time where I discovered it is primarily what you're getting. And that was like, you know, GTA 5 had just come out. I was playing like a lot of that. GTA Online was like a thing. I was like farming trucks to fucking sell them and make too much money. But like that album vibe to me though, like the cosmic vibe that it has and the story that goes along with it, like that to me, that's my favorite of all time. Close second is Ghost Reveries by Opeth.
Yo,
That album is fucking off the charts. There's nothing that misses on that album. I don't know, like there's a difference between like if I had to list like my favorite album of all time and like the greatest album of all time, there's a significant difference there. Like if I had to say the greatest album of all time, like you almost have to say that it's Dark Side of the Moon. But it's not my favorite album. So there's a completely different like precedent that's set there.
It's fucked up because it is Dark Side of the Moon, because that album was on like the top 100 charts up until recently.
Right.
Check.
Well, yeah,
It's
because
fucking insane.
just like accolade wise, yeah, it has to be.
But I would also say what I think the greatest album ever is Rumors.
Yeah, I was about to say, is Landslide on Rumors?
No, I
Okay.
wish.
If Landslide was on Rumors, then it's a fucking slam dunk.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, Random Access Memories, I think, could make the case. That is probably... Man, there is not a single bit of fat on that album. You could say that about Rumors and Dark Side of the Moon, but I just think there's something, I don't know, there's something about all three of those albums for me that you're never going to get again.
I feel that way.
A fourth one, ironically, it's the fourth one. It's also Led Zeppelin 4, the one with Stairway to Heaven on it.
Right.
I think that's a fucking amazing. Like,
I
there
feel
was a
that
whole
way about
Yeah, that's the one.
I think I feel that way about, well, I actually could probably name a couple where I'm like, there's not really an empty space. But
yeah,
I
we
think,
could do that.
I think Linkin Park Hybrid Theory was just so good in like every aspect. But the reason I think is because I was in this like formative time, and it was like forming my music taste. Like single-handedly, that album was forming the way I listen to music.
Yeah.
I had a Pop-A-Shot, right? The basketball thing with the little with the ball return thing, and I used to have my radio under it. My radio was like a 6-disc CD changer with 2 speakers, and I was underneath it, and I'd sit underneath it and listen to music. And that shit was just like nothing I had ever heard of. It was like, it's a completely different genre. It created a genre, and it was like every single song I was like, this is awesome. And at the time, I wasn't listening to much else. System of a Down and like Creed. I don't know what else was back then. Probably some Limp Bizkit or something. You know what I mean?
I listened to a lot of Nickelback, a lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Yeah.
a lot of 9 Inch Nails,
Yeah.
and but actually, funny you mentioned System of a Down, because I think Toxicity was Hybrid Theory.
That's
for
another
me.
one.
Yeah.
Toxicity fucked me up. I remember my dad and I saw the music video for the single Toxicity, and we were like, "What is this band?" And then immediately we went and got the album.
Yep.
And it just blew our minds.
Toxicity,
I was like 6.
Everything rips on that. And
Like,
you know,
imagine being
honestly,
6 years old and having your dad be like, "We're going to buy this CD right now."
Yeah.
And we literally did. We fucking went to Walmart and fucking bought Toxicity.
I think that Hypnotize and Mesmerize are like super underrated albums. They're like their later albums, but they're like, you can listen to that whole thing and go, wow, dude, they are killing this. Like everything is good. And System was like, they were after Toxicity, and actually I don't even know which album came before that, unless it was Steal This Album, or it might have been like so they System of a Down was their self-titled. They did the first one, and then I think it was Steal This Album,
and then it was Toxicity.
Yeah.
And then it was.
But their self-titled was like good, but it wasn't.
I love their self.
It wasn't like it didn't.
Their self-title is really aggressive.
They had a couple songs that were like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you like listen back to them. But like Jet Pilot and like
Bounce.
Yeah. Deer Dance and shit, dude, like all of those are just so good. They like never really missed on a lot of songs, but it's just some spots were weaker than others because they were so strong of a band, you know.
I think just the other night, me and Wes were talking about System of a Down. We were talking about how really, even though everybody in that band is super talented, the sound comes from Serge. And it's he's
does.
just so.
It comes from
good.
Darren too, though.
Darren's
like I
great.
feel like
Darren's
both of their
really good.
voices combined is what it gives the signature sound. Like you can listen to Scars on Broadway, and that's just Darren.
And
it's like,
Days,
that's
just
still-
Darren
you
too,
can-
I think, right?
Yeah. Well, that was part of their. You know, when that album came out, that was when they were starting to kind of like fight about who's
the front man.
Yeah, because you know you get a song where Darren's like the only singer. Well, not only, but he was the primary singer, and that was, you know, he was starting to take over a little bit. So I think that might have been part of what they were fighting about. But you like can listen to Scars on Broadway and be like, oh, that's System. But you can also listen to Serge, like some of his solo stuff, and you're like, okay, well, obviously that's System of a Down.
Yep.
But it's just not as good. And it just wasn't the same because those two need their brains to be together.
Yeah,
it
that's
just
a good
needs to be that way. That's what System was. It just was not the same when they split. And they knew that. That's why they came back.
I remember Red Hot Chili Peppers, By the Way, blew my mind when I got that album. I think I was like 7 or 8 when I got that one.
Yeah.
That one was
Well,
fucking crazy.
It's the same with Blink. Like Blink, when they split, they all tried to do their own careers or whatever, and then they all go, you know what? The only way to really like to get to these people like is the nostalgia.
Has there been a band where everybody split off to do solo shit and they all kicked ass?
No, because the only ones I'm thinking of are already guys that were split off from their old bands.
Yeah, I'm trying to think
Like, I think of the Beatles, but then it's like not really. It's mostly Lennon and McCartney. And then Pink Floyd is Waters and Gilmour, you know?
Right.
Rush, they never split off because they were fucking classic. They always stayed together.
Why would you do that?
Fleetwood Mac, I mean, they all had solo careers, but really Stevie Nicks is the one that everybody thinks about.
Yeah.
Nirvana?
I was never a big fan of Fleetwood Mac for some reason. I never got into it.
I mean,
Van Halen?
look,
Van
Chris
Halen,
from
no.
Nirvana never really did anything. So
Van Halen was named after the guitar player. It wasn't even
Dude,
true.
That is, oh my god! I was looking at some bass tabs, and dude, Nirvana tabs are ridiculous to play. They're not even technical, but their bassist was like 6'6"
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something, and
He
you can
could
tell
stretch.
his hands are fucking huge.
Yeah.
It's insane.
What you need to do is just get like a small bass. Like
Yeah.
a smaller version.
I've seen a short scale bass up at the
You can-
one
yeah,
music
you can
store
get-
up by Great Northern. I wanted to grab that. but-
Yeah, you just need a smaller instrument.
Fucking crazy. 'Cause I was looking at baritone guitar for a minute, but then I realized, like, oh, that's just the things at guitar I'm bad at, but with the parts of bass that are more difficult than guitar.
Yeah. I was like, bass guitar was interesting to me because like I was like, oh well, I already play guitar. I can play bass. You just need to learn to pick with your fingers, basically, to walk your fingers. And I got okay at that, but like string skipping and stuff like that on a bass guitar is harder to do.
Yeah, it's like I can do a little bit with the thing, but it's just easier for me to just like play
slap.
with my thumb,
Yeah.
like I have a thumb pick on.
Well, some bassists do just use a pick. So
Yeah. I was
I'm pretty sure, does Gojira's bassist use a pick?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say it like hits really hard, and I think he does.
I know at least certain songs Vampire Weekend's bassist does. 'Cause
Well,
a lot
you
of
do
those
get
songs
the
you fucking have to.
Well, you get punchiness from it,
Yeah.
which is nice depending on your genre. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you want that. Like, I could. It's like, yeah, I could convert to a bass, but like, you don't pick up a bass guitar and like around like a group of people and go like, hey, check this song out, or do you know? Hey. Do you know that song? And then
It's
they're
sorta
like,
like-
they're like, what?
It would be like that South Park episode where they play the Guitar Hero guitars acoustically.
Yeah.
I love John the Fisherman.
It's like, at least with a guitar, I can be like, here's fucking 4 chords. You know that song, right? You know.
Yep.
Even with some drum parts, you can go like I can somewhat, like if I'm gonna play Judas Priest or something, everybody's like, oh, that's Painkiller or whatever. Like they know what's happening. Like you can some drum parts are iconic enough to do that, but I feel like a bass never gets that. It never gets that level of recognition.
The Chili Peppers you could probably play a few Chili Peppers
There's
songs
some-
and
yeah.
get people to go,
There's,
oh, or like
Schism.
Yeah.
That one will get. That's instantly.
Yeah, that I actually. Yeah.
know the pieces fit because they're all inside my ass.
Maybe some Rush, too.
Yeah.
You probably could get away with that.
Yeah, the Rush song that goes.
Why is
That's Rush, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My uncle owns a country place that no one knows about. He said it used to be a farm.
Whatever happened to blues music? Does that
before
exist
the
anymore?
motor launch.
Are there
Uh,
blues musicians?
Yeah, it's
I
actually
don't know,
cool.
'cause,
Australia and Iceland are both pretty big into the blues right now. It's pretty sick.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How would you know that?
I've been listening to a lot of blues music out of Australia and Iceland.
I was gonna say, fucking Zealand Ardor isn't really doing that anymore, so I don't know.
I don't hear like
They're getting real weird with their shit.
I fucking love
like it.
Zealand Ardor. but
I did not
getting really
foresee
weird.
them developing how they have.
yeah.
I just wonder like what happened to the blues genre.
There's a band from Australia I like a lot called the Teskey Brothers.
Well,
That's
Opeth is blues now.
Yeah.
Like literally, Mikkel Åkerfeldt doesn't realize it, but he's just a blues guitar player, and he's playing metal.
Mhm.
You listen to any of his solos, and you're like, oh, he's just playing blues music.
Mhm.
That's all he's doing.
And then there's a band out of Iceland that I like called Kaleo.
Mm.
They're pretty good. They're more rock. They're more
Like the old,
classic
is
rock.
it like the old Calzone place?
Sort of, yeah. They're like more classic rock, but they have a few songs that are kind of bluesy.
Mm. Yeah.
And then there's also the one that goes.
That's good. That's a good blues
Is it
tune.
bluegrass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bluegrass, I love. The Punch Brothers, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
They're really, really good.
Yeah. I've been listening to
what,
like
Chris Style.
I've been listening to Stevie Ray Vaughan and like
That's gonna be the
and
new.
Muddy Waters, dude. Muddy Waters is the most blues name of all time.
Yeah. I've been listening to a lot of Otis Redding.
Bo Diddley is up there.
Oh, that's
Sitting
more cartoony.
on the dock of the bay.
Blues is great.
Yeah, dude, it's the best.
Fucking rips.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind like country music in certain country artists are
Toby
pretty good.
Keith is great.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Toby Keith isn't bad. Luke Combs is pretty good.
Toby Keith is
I
dead.
don't really do anything
Luke- yeah,
modern
like-
nowadays, and it's because like I said that 10 years ago, and now shit 10 years ago, it's like, oh, this is all right, and then everything nowadays is just like, no, this is dog shit.
I just can't. It's hard for me to not like appreciate music in any genre. Like I don't know. I just know how hard it is to write music.
When is Taylor Swift going to go back to country? That's what I need to know.
Yeah.
Hopefully never, because she actually like interesting all of a sudden.
I think
she's
well-
like doing albums with like the guy from The National and shit, and like She's like writing songs in like weird time signatures and shit, and it's just like
They need her to work. I want her to work with
the
fucking
biggest pop star on earth.
Eminem.
Well,
I want Eminem, Kendrick, and T Swizzle on an album, dude.
The three most important people in white culture.
Did Eminem put out a new album yet? Or
It's
what?
coming out soon, I think.
Yeah, he's got one that's supposed to be coming out.
I listened to Houdini a few times. I like it. It's fine.
It's okay. Yeah, like that's how I feel about Eminem.
I need to listen to his
Anything
whole
Eminem
album.
does after 2010, it's just him trying to be the white MF Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems right. That actually is pretty accurate.
Yeah. Actually, it is.
Surprisingly accurate.
Like, he's still fucking obviously one of the best out there, if not the best.
Yeah,
And all
that's
this shit
exactly what I
slaps,
would
but it's
do.
just like,
Yeah,
eh.
and it's not like I wouldn't have it on in the background or whatever.
Yeah, I actually, no shit. I listened to Relapse on the way here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's one of my favorite
There's
albums.
chunks of Relapse that I really like.
It's 3 a.m. I love when
3
he does
a.m.
the,
is wicked good.
It's 3 a.m. in the morning. Put my key in the door and bodies laying all over the floor. And don't remember how they got there. And I guess I must have killed them. Killed them. Yeah, I've been listening to that on the way to work because I get up at like 3:30 to get ready for work. So I listen to that on the
So
way
you put
in.
that on.
There is no escaping. There's no place to hide.
Is there another song called 3 a.m. by somebody? Isn't there?
Fucking Matchbox 20.
Yeah, okay, that's.
It's about the other end of the
Yeah.
spectrum,
The other. Should have. That's 3 p.m.
Yeah. Oh my
Wow,
god.
Matchbox
Dude,
20.
3
that was a
p.m.
thing.
is like the least dramatic time of day you could possibly sing
That's
about.
why baseball starts at 3 p.m.
Dude, shit's going down at 3. Like everybody's in the flow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's when shit's going down.
And
And it's also starting to wind down.
Kids are getting out of school.
Yep.
It's-
Kids are out. Fucking, you're on break until 5 o'clock because no one wants to work after like 2 o'clock p.m. for some reason. This fucking, there was like an experiment I guess they did about like those 4-day work weeks and shit, and they're like, yeah, this works. This is awesome. Everybody should do 4-day work weeks, and then America goes, huh? But we need money though.
Like for fun. Even 410s would be fucking great.
I would do 410s, yeah.
I'd do that in a heartbeat. Fucking-
I used to do 510s. Now I'm doing 5/8s, which is pretty fucking standard. Which is fine with me.
yeah, I work 4 to noon 30. I kind of love that.
Well, the fucking when I did the outage, I was doing 7/12 or 7/10s, 7/12s.
Yeah, but you were doing 7/12s.
Yeah, something like
You're going
that.
crazy.
That was a fucking nightmare.
For what, 6 weeks? 8 weeks?
Yeah, like 2 months. You don't. That sucks. You don't get a day off. That's so bad. It can't be good for you, especially when it's like 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. or
Right.
whatever. It's not healthy. That's why, like, at work, if you get on the J shift, you're only doing your night shifts for 4 days at a time or 3 days at a time, and it's like, yeah, that sucks. Anytime you're doing a swing, that sucks.
See, that's the thing I hated about when I worked there because I was a temp, so I was like it was like mandated overtime.
Oh, yeah.
And that shit would suck because it would be like, okay, I would have, normally you would have a day or two off in between, but I would get forced to take one of those days on. And
And then they say, hey, you got a week off. And then they go, oh, just kidding. Actually, you have to take 3 days of mandatory overtime.
I remember there was a Thanksgiving shift where I worked, or Thanksgiving when I worked 20 hours because nobody would come in and relieve me.
Mhm.
And
They
I had
usually
already-
only want you to work. They don't want you to work 24. I think it's 18. I think they usually try and cap you at.
that's what I did the days leading up to Thanksgiving. And then I found out like 10 hours into my shift on Wednesday that I wasn't going to be able to get Thanksgiving off and I had to come in. And then I went in at, whatever time, like 4:30, 5 o'clock. And I think I was out and I got home and it was like 2 a.m. the next day. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was fucked up. I made
think
a
the same
shit ton of money
fly-
though. That's how I still have all of the peripherals in my house.
I think that same fly from last week when
Yeah,
I
he's
shot,
chilling.
but I think he's still in here. The same one.
Well, that was like the shit that my buddy Stan and I figured out during the pandemic, the first year of the pandemic, during the holiday season. We were just picking up all the hours because we wanted to be able to take time off for playoffs for football and for March Madness and shit. So we were taking everybody's holiday shifts, and then we actually ended up getting to a point where we worked so much overtime that we paid more in taxes than we got for our paycheck.
That's what happens. Yep.
We worked it was like 92 hours or 93 hours.
I know
was like
you
the
have
cutoff.
to like do the math sometimes, like with that kind of shit, because the fucking man, these taxes are bad. New York State is bad. It's bad. They go, okay, yeah, you just worked like whatever 54 hours this week. Cool, we're gonna take a couple $100 from you, and then they go, that's on your paycheck, and then they go, you want to buy something? We're gonna take more money from you. Oh, you want to take money out of the bank? We're gonna take money from you. Oh, you want to put money in the bank? We're gonna take money from you.
Yeah,
It's like, dude, they literally pull it out of. I was thinking that the other day. I was like, if I just had like every tax I've ever paid, if I just had it back, dude, it's like in the tens of thousands, easily.
Yeah.
On everything I've ever bought in my life in 33 years. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's crazy. There's states that don't have income tax. And you're just like, what are we doing here? We need to break off from New York City. We're not New York City.
I've been saying that for years.
That's never going to happen. Until
the
they
thing
admit
is
that
you
the
break
moon
off from
landing
New
was
York
fake.
City, and then 10 years later, all your fucking roads are dog shit.
Yep, exactly. And as long as everybody believes that we went to the moon,
Shit's
we're gonna
never
have
gonna
taxes. Exactly.
Speaking of shit never changing, I've been playing Elden Ring again. You ever heard of that game?
Heard of it?
You ever heard of that, Bill? You ever
Yeah.
play it?
Yeah, I haven't played it. All I have my current gen is fucking Switch.
That
What do you
There's
play
a-
on the Switch?
Mostly fucking Stardew Valley at this point.
Fuck yeah.
I tried getting into that and I got lost. It's on my phone. I do have it on my phone, but there's a game on the Switch that's also on mobile, and it's called Star Wars. Man, what the fuck? It's like a brand new game. It's literally a mobile game, but it's like pretty good. Like it's actually pretty good. Can't think of what it's called, but it's on the Switch also, and I pulled it on there because you can actually cross-platform. You like it cross saves and stuff like that, which is nice.
Mhm.
Which is pretty much what they need to do. That should be like industry standard now. I'm sorry, cross save needs to be industry standard. What is the deal with that? I should not have to fucking like Destiny didn't even do it for a while. It's like I shouldn't have to fucking buy like your cross purchases should even carry over.
That shit sends me to
Like
the moon.
any add-ons and shit that you buy, DLCs, that should all carry over too.
I can't remember what it was, but I actually got pretty annoyed the other day because I was looking at my Xbox library, on my Xbox app on PC, and then I was like, I always thought the Xbox had the Play Anywhere thing. I thought that was just the standard. Apparently, that's not. That's only with like first party stuff. Because I always thought if I bought something on Xbox One, I would also be able to play it on Xbox app, but it only lets me do like a weird remote play session.
Yeah.
And then there was some game I was booting up and it didn't have any of my saves from the console version. So then I went to the console version to try and find the saves, and it ended up getting overwritten by the blank save file from the PC. So just the saves are gone now.
What?
Well, so like Xbox like cloud gaming is pretty good with it. Like it'll when you launch the game on your phone, it'll say like syncing data for your gamer tag, and then it'll basically pull out all that data from the cloud, which is the way it should be. But the problem with like cross DLC is the stores want their money.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reality. So like you can't buy, all the Destiny expansions on Xbox and then go play them on the computer.
It was Mass Effect. And that's the weird thing with Mass Effect is that I own the Legendary Edition on Xbox, right? And I also own it on Steam, but it launches through EA Play, just like it does in the Game Pass version. And because I had Game Pass saves and Steam saves, it fucked it.
That's another thing. Stop with having your own clients.
Yeah, I'm sick of it.
Just stop it. Just run through Steam. It just doesn't make any sense. Stop.
I prefer games that don't even need Steam. I fucking love GOG for like
Well,
the
that's
DRM
fine too.
free shit.
I like Steam because I can add games that aren't Steam games
That's nice.
into my list, and it'll run it from there. But I just don't think it's like we don't need BattleNet, we don't need fucking
The Epic Store.
EA Play, yeah, Epic, all this bullshit. It's like we just don't need it. And the biggest problem I have with it is like I can't just look at my library unless I start adding everything to Steam. I can't just like on my Xbox I can sit down and go, what do I want to play? And I can look at my full fucking library and scroll through it and go like, hey, well, like this is what I want to do or whatever. It's just not that way on PC.
No, what you got to do is you got to be
The only thing I play on PC is fucking Helldivers
you got to
now.
be a sociopath and do what I do and just have your desktop be shortcuts to every game you have
Yeah,
installed.
yeah, you could. You
Literally
could do that.
my whole desktop. It's a black background
Or-
with Terra from Final Fantasy VI dying.
I mean, I could
And then
just
there's
go
fucking
like
stickers everywhere.
2003 and fucking make a new folder and call it games
Yeah.
and just put all shortcuts in there, which is you could do that, but it's the principle still stands, you know.
Just one more click.
Yeah, it's another double click is what it is, and I don't want to do that. Crazy. People barely want to fucking click on anything nowadays. They don't want to tap on nothing. People call them taps now. Did you know that? People aren't even calling them clicks anymore sometimes. They're calling them taps because everybody fucking uses their phone. They don't even say clicks. Tap on that.
Remember when it was hits?
Tap on that link.
Remember when it was like, oh, how many hits can you get on this vid, bro? iCarly style.
Yeah. Hits. Dude, yeah. Like early 2000s websites with the counter at the bottom, dude.
Oh, yeah.
With like 8-digit rows and it's 00000
It looks like a ticker.
2
ticker
or whatever.
tape,
Yeah. Because 12 people have visited the website. It's like a GeoCities website. It's fucking Oh my god, I love that.
Gaia Online, dude.
Yep. Whatever happened to that? GeoCities, dude. Bring that back. I use Google Sites. It's fucking, it rips. It's great. And it's free. But people like want to pay for fucking Squarespace or whatever. I've found that you don't need to pay for jack shit anymore. You just find alternatives. Like people fucking making YouTube thumbnails and shit. Like you can find websites that do that. Like websites that pull backgrounds apart. Like they'll just make your background transparent. You don't have to have Photoshop for half of this shit anymore. Like you can just do it online. And like like a lot of the websites are probably sketchy or whatever, but you just know what you're clicking on. Don't click on the fucking big download now button. Because it's clearly an ad. You just have to have some common sense when you're navigating shit. I know that like when I do this show, it's like everything I do is basically free. The only thing I use is that AI that clips things up. And that only does so much. I have to do some editing to those. It grabs like what it'll do is grab like a topic. It'll go like, hey, it'll give you a grade rating too. It'll say like, hey, this has like an interesting hook. Like it starts off strong. Like it should grab people's attention. And then what I do is I just pull it apart and fucking take out spaces and things like that so I can make it less than a minute. But you can also set it up to do time frames. You can be like, I want it to be less than 60 seconds, and it'll do that too. But it's just not the best at grabbing it as a conversation. You want it to be like complete. So sometimes I have to add lines in or whatever. But that kind of stuff is what goes viral now, is like videos with captions. And
You gotta
that's
have,
just how it
you
is.
gotta have fucking
The
subtitles
sing-along,
with different colors.
it's like a sing-along. Yeah. It's fucking, oh man, dude, it's like you have to cater to fucking some dumb people, huh?
You're gonna have the video of some fucking
Story
of my-
flash
story
of my
playing at the
life,
bottom
dude.
underneath.
Yeah. I just feel like it's like everybody, you gotta dumb shit down now. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here to do, ladies and gentlemen. Dumb things down. Talk about balls itching. Bass guitar is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. When did we start? 3 or 4:30?
Yeah, my question was, what's up with the Stanley Cup Finals? What's going on with that?
What's going on with it is I stopped watching it as soon as Dallas got eliminated.
Well, is it the Panthers and the Oilers?
It is, yeah.
Are the Panthers up 2-0?
I hope so. I hope the Panthers win because
Cool. I hope the Panthers win too.
Yep.
That'd be nice.
I think Dallas should have. Dallas is the most. They're so good at playing only in the third quarter, in the third period.
Yeah.
They go, we are just doing nothing for 2 periods. And
Maybe they think it's quarters and they're like,
yeah, maybe they do.
they
It seems like they do.
yeah.
But they do nothing for 2 periods, and puck control is just on the other team constantly. And then they go, you know what? We'll turn it on now. And then they're the fastest team in the league all of a sudden. And you're going, what? Where was this? I don't understand. I don't understand Dallas, and I can't. I'm so frustrated by them the last 2 years because I don't watch hockey that much. But
No.
when Dallas is good, which they are a good team, I want to watch. And like it's so frustrating when they just don't play with heart, you know.
That's how I feel being a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Like when we went to see them, my dad and I went and saw them play last year in Buffalo, and when they came out on the field, we just knew that something was off because they had already clinched a playoff spot, so we're like, oh, they're just not going to give a shit. And then when they came out against Green Bay in the playoffs, they had the same exact body language that they had in fucking Buffalo, and I was just like, dude, you already know it's over.
Yeah, I just don't know what it is. Like as a unit, sometimes they just come out and they don't look right.
That's the thing that's been the driving force behind the Celtics for this whole season, because ever since the season started, they're like, we're the best team in the league, and you guys have to
beat us. Yeah.
Yeah. I think now they're fucking 85-20 on the season. If you include the regular season and the postseason, they're 85-20 right now.
Yeah, they've lost, I think, 2 total games this entire postseason.
Yeah. They're fucked up. It's
Still not
really
as
like
good as my
Bill said,
2K
they have a big 5.
career.
Dude, oh my god, fucking.
their
Have you
entire
seen
team
Wemby
is-
play, dude? Yeah. Wemby is literally a cheesy, like broken creative player.
Wemby is somebody
player.
that Dave would make in 2K.
Yeah, it's
like
literally just
7'5".
just like a Kobe Bryant size with an extra foot of height, but just a guard stretched.
Literally.
It's absurd.
I barely watch basketball at all.
It's I'm a Pistons fan, so I don't really think I'm watching basketball most of the time until the playoffs start, and then I watch actual teams.
Right.
I'm trying to watch more basketball. I'm trying to watch college because I'm starting to get down on football in general.
Yeah, dude, I am really glad that Michigan won the title last year because I'm officially checked out of college football from here on out because of the way that they're going.
I just watched
And really
Syracuse.
just the sport itself, like I don't know, like the NFL is not. They should not be trusted for like the stewardship of the actual sport.
Yeah.
You need to put it in the hands of someone who doesn't have a fucking profit motive.
Here's why I love. Well, so they do have a profit motive. The UFL. So they are making changes like to a lot of these rules, and the NFL's going, yeah, that's actually a good idea, and they're literally adopting some of these rules.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Is like you get with the kickoffs, like you're almost losing the onside kick. Like we're taking things out of the game. At this point, we've made like 15 years worth of changes to the sport of football for purposes other than like the actual competitive balance of the game. And so you're starting to end up with like a degenerated, imbalanced metagame. And you're starting to see it now because it used to be like just the first month of the season you would see bad quality football because teams haven't had the chance to get their system running yet. And you keep taking away weeks of the preseason, and now you're starting to see it was the first couple months of the season are bad football. And then just this past season, it was basically the entire year. Even the Chiefs played like 2 separate good halves of football in the postseason and then the overtime in the Super Bowl. And that was the only time they even looked impressive.
They were wobbly as hell all year.
Yeah, and it's because you can't really play defense. They haven't figured out how to adjust that yet. The running game is gone, and it's basically just when nobody can get their system running, it just defaults to the best quarterback wins. And so we're getting the Chiefs and Mahomes in a dynasty.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why you get like Lamar Jackson and all these guys in the playoffs.
Yeah. And that's the other thing is like, every team the Chiefs faced this postseason choked like dogs.
Yeah.
And the Ravens in particular, in the second half of that game, you could tell they were getting so fucking angry.
Yeah.
Because they were not getting any fucking calls that they just started losing their fucking
But you
composure.
got to think, here's what the NFL wants, right? Is they want Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They almost want the game to go that way. So I'm wondering if it's all profit motive, which it probably is, and the game just isn't it's not the same. It just isn't the same as it was. And part of it though is the natural evolution of the game. Like quarterback play is different now.
It's
just completely different.
I really think Miami's at the cutting edge of like that with the offense and stuff because the way their offense works, Tua is not even throwing the ball to the receiver. Tua is throwing the ball to a spot on the field, and it is the receiver's job to be in that spot.
Yeah, which is what you need to be doing. That's how they teach you to do it, though.
Yeah,
like you have to understand. Like, okay, here's the zone. Like, say there's a cover 3, you're going, okay, well, middle of the field probably or whatever, maybe sideline, like 10, 15 yards deep. There's going to be an opening. There's going to be a gap there.
And that's the thing. That's what their whole offense is because they're not doing the thing where, like, the play breaks down, you extend it in the pocket, and eventually someone loses their man and he opens up. The Dolphins can't do that at all. If the play breaks down, Tua's just lost.
He trusts his receivers, though. Is the big thing. That takes a little bit to develop usually. But if you just don't think about it and you go, I'm just going to trust my guys and throw it in. Favre did that.
It helps when you have fucking Tyreek.
Favre didn't even know. Favre didn't even know what a nickel
speed.
defense was.
No, he didn't know that.
Fucking love him,
Tyreek
dude.
is just so fucking good at just like finding the fucking open space.
This might,
he's fast too.
This might be a hot take, but I might take Tyreek Hill over almost any other receiver of all time, besides probably Megatron and Jerry Rice. I'd rather have Tyreek Hill than T.O. or Randy Moss.
He's pretty sure-handed, too.
I might take him as my first Madden receiver.
Yeah, his speed and his just catching ability.
His composure.
Even catching in traffic.
His composure is great. I think he only really ever lost his composure when they were about to lose against the Buccaneers, and Winfield Jr. did the peace sign to him. But other than that, Tyreek Hill knows he's top dog.
Can't really call it. It's like you can't really give him the peace sign. That's kind of his trigger. You know what I mean?
Is he? I mean, he's maybe taking him over Moss and T.O. is a little too intense. Marvin Harrison Sr. is up there as well.
Well, yeah, but he plays now.
But the way Tyreek Hill plays, dude, he's just. I mean, you pop him in he's faster than the league at its fastest. You know what I mean? This is the fastest that the entire league's ever been, and he makes all those guys look slow as shit. So you could just put him wherever.
Yeah, it's superhuman.
It's fucked up. It's like, but like, that's what makes him and Waddle so dangerous because, like you said, Tua isn't throwing to the receivers. They just have to get open, and they will get open. One of the two will always be open.
And that's why you need a Tyreek Hill, so like your safety kind of bites on that guy. You know what I mean? And it opens up the other guys. That's why you need 3 receivers nowadays.
Take the top
Wide
off
receivers
the
are not. They're like super undervalued. I feel like you can get like one. A lot of teams want a guy, like a go-to guy. You don't want a go-to guy. You want fucking 3 of them. Pay those guys. Pay your wide receivers. You're throwing the ball a lot.
Then you have
in this
Dallas that they either try and have fucking a lineup of 4 second stringers or CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks and then 3
Right.
fourth stringers.
Yeah. The fact of the matter is, like, your offensive line doesn't have to be as good. They don't have to block as long as if your receivers can get open quick, you do not have to block as long. You don't have to have these fucking. You don't have to have.
Who's the third
David?
guy?
You don't have to have. Well,
the Dolphins. They have Waddle, Hill. Do they have Chase Claypool still? Or did they cut him already?
no, I don't, think
know
so.
if they have him
Don't they have another
still.
third guy that's supposed to be good?
They just signed.
They just signed a third guy.
Like that's the best way to do it. Like I really feel like that's the best way. The league is fast, so you want guys to get open quick and throw it to them. It's none of this fucking Peyton Manning stand around in the pocket for
signed OBJ.
6.5 seconds and then throw it.
The Dolphins.
Okay, that's
That
the third
sounds
guy.
right.
Is fucking OBJ now.
Yeah, it looks like that's.
But pocket passing isn't the same anymore. That's all I'm saying.
No chance.
There almost isn't pocket passing anymore. You almost see more bootlegs and like, you know, guys only stand in the pocket for like a couple seconds and then they're out of there.
Even guys that everybody's like, oh, he's a pocket passer, a guy like Brock Purdy, it's like, yeah, but he's throwing it in 2.2 seconds and his pocket is collapsing in 2.3.
Yeah.
Like he's a pocket passer in the fact that, yeah, he's throwing it out of the pocket, but because he has to.
And he's only throwing it 20 times a game. It's not like he's throwing.
Brock can move too. He I don't think they really like scramble him, but he
But the guy that's lined up, the guy who's lined up behind him when he's under center is the reason he doesn't need to throw the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he can just hand it off, and he's got the number 1 running back in the league. So you got to consider that too. I don't know. There's like a number of things that like I like the UFL. I like watching it because they do make like a decent number of changes to the game, and they're all things that the NFL is considering. So, and it's XFL and the USFL, and they just were like, you know, we're both gonna probably go under. Let's just merge this.
I think if there's one takeaway about sports lately, it's that all the leagues seem to be pretty leveled. Obviously, I think the Celtics are just 2 tiers above anybody else in the NBA right now, but they'll probably come back to earth next year. But I like that going into the NFL season, I kind of feel like it could be anybody's year.
I'm pretty sure the Celtics still have like another year or 2 window with this fucking lineup. Actually,
They're gonna try and do something really goofy, and it's gonna fucking blow up in their faces. That's what everyone does. Hopefully they don't. If they keep their big 5 together, they're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Unless they run into Milwaukee next postseason.
Yeah, I mean, another fucking season of Milwaukee actually, like, having to, you know, not in the beginning of the season, like, oh, hey, I didn't want to come here. Nobody here really wants me here that much anyway. But give them a year and a half, they'll figure something out.
Well, Glenn was saying that because Dame was so worried about getting re-injured in the offseason that he didn't do any workouts until the season started.
Oh, shit.
So he basically played the whole season out of shape. And so hopefully, you know,
check out.
He ate a whole Canales pizza.
I just can't believe that.
Oh, no, what's it? Oh,
Like, I just don't know what the Pistons are doing.
oh, no, now Dame's going to be bad
And
at defense.
it's fucking 2 straight years where they've had one of the worst records in the league and 2 straight years where they've gotten the 5th overall pick.
You know,
And they hired Monty Williams, and they made him the richest NBA coach
Don't be named
of
Monty.
all time. And he only won 15 games, I think. 13
What's Monty
games?
short for?
Montana. I think.
it's got to be Montgomery, right?
Yeah.
Monterey.
But
Monterey Chicken Williams.
it just sucks because there's a lot of really good two-way guys on the Pistons, a lot of really athletic young dudes. Cade Cunningham is legit a fucking franchise guy, but he's just hurt all the time. And they have Monty Williams coaching all these like wicked young
Monterey
kids
Williams.
that are just
Is
like,
Monterey chicken a real thing? Like, is Monterey
Probably.
chicken a normal thing?
I think so.
I don't know. I think it might.
Because I only remember it from Ponderosa.
I definitely don't. I feel like. Have you ever seen the sauce anywhere else?
Not really.
Because that's got to be the
And it
the
was God
defining
tier.
characteristic, right?
That sauce was God tier. I don't know. I've never seen Monterey chicken since Ponderosa closed.
Yeah, for being real, the actual chicken itself wasn't that great, but the sauce.
No, but the sauce is what, like, it was like, what are we doing? How do we not have this on everything? It was like, it was basically a salad dressing. It wasn't even really like meant to be that.
Yeah, like it was weird. Like
He was a hydroceramic engineer for Ponderosa for like
Mhm.
for a minute.
hygiene technician.
Yeah, and I would cook them up. You know what I mean? They'd throw them back.
Yeah.
He'd clean them up.
It's still to this day. I wish my house had like a closet with a mop sink. That would be so fucking useful.
A mop sink, yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess what I was just going to get to was for this coming NBA season, I'm just hoping the Pistons can maybe at some point fight for a play-in spot. Like if they can, I'm just, man, I fucking hate basketball.
I just can't get into basketball anymore. It's a shame.
I'm trying to.
Like I love watching hockey. It's so fast paced and like it reminds me of basketball the way plays form and like shot opportunities are kind of similar because you're like, oh, that guy's open. I'm gonna take this now, or like I need to shoot something from the point or whatever. It's very similar, but it's also faster paced and it's like more physical. And I don't know. I'm kind of surprised hockey's not more over in the States, to be honest with you. It's pretty big, but it's not.
Well,
it's
didn't
not
they
one
start?
Of the big
didn't
three.
they finally put it back on ESPN?
You remember when we were kids, back when the Sabres were good?
Yeah.
Dude, Dominic Hasek used to be like the biggest fucking star in upstate New York, like more than anyone on the Bills.
Well, everybody was huge on the Hurricanes too. Like once Eric Cole went over there.
Yeah, I remember when they won the fucking cup. A truck was like driving around town after the game.
Is that an outer space theme? That's a spam call.
There was a truck driving around town with like a Hurricanes flag on a pole mounted in the truck bed, just driving around blaring the horn and shit.
And it's just a Carolina team, and no one has any business. Like, okay, we have a sub named after the guy or whatever. It's like, okay, cool, but like, why are we Carolina fans all of a sudden? It's not how it works. I would like to go.
I
to
think the
Sabres game,
like
or
the
something.
05 lockout, fucked NHL pretty bad. Because that was a whole year of nobody watching it, and that was a whole year of the other sports kind of being a little...
You know what really screws it, honestly, though, is that the NBA playoffs take place during the NHL playoffs. It's the same time. Their season's almost the same. And I think that the Americans, like the NBA, is just going to overshadow it.
That's weird because those are like the two sports that use the same arenas.
The biggest thing with the NBA, though, is that people don't actually watch the games.
No, they watch.
NHL fans actually watch the
Twitter.
games.
Yeah.
Like,
they watch the Twitter feed, like the NBA Twitter feed or whatever.
Like, I barely watched. I watched maybe a handful of Pistons games this year, and I watched most of the playoffs. I haven't watched since...
I locked her out. I knew she was going to try to barge in.
That's what she does. That's her move.
She even she texted me and she's like, can I barge in? I was like, no, don't barge in. It ruins the flow. And then I was like, I'm just going to lock the door.
There you go. But yeah, none of the really. I haven't really been watching. Even UFC has been dog shit, and now this whole McGregor Chandler thing, which is really hilarious, how this has been going on.
Yeah.
Like we're 2 weeks away from the fight, and they're trying to get multiple champion fighters on the card last minute, because they're worried that Conor isn't gonna he's just not gonna show up.
Yeah, and they just
which is
dealt with
crazy.
Pretty much the same scenario for 300.
Yep.
Yeah, 300 ended up being all right.
I had a great time at 300. Jamal Hill didn't.
Well,
Jamal Hill's still having a bad time, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine getting your ass beat by someone wearing fucking swim trunks.
Sometimes you have a bad time. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just have a bad time.
That's a fact.
All right, what are we at? Well, Jesus Christ, I feel like
we're
this is
almost
a
at 2
long
hours.
episode.
Oh boy, maybe that was actually
It's a
someone.
voicemail. No, it's a spam voicemail.
Oh,
They've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Is probably what it is.
Guaranteed.
man.
What was it about the UFC? Poirier Islam. I missed the fight, but I watched it the next day. It was pretty great. I think Poirier should retire though.
What is it, Friday?
Mm, yeah, maybe. How old is Poirier?
37. I think.
He can
35.
keep doing it if he wants.
I don't know.
It's up to him, you know.
Is Paddy Pimblett fighting Tony Ferguson? Is that a real fight, or was that a dream that I had?
I don't know.
That sounds right.
Because that'll be the fight to watch.
Let's see.
Tony Ferguson's a fucking
He's lost like 5 straight, dude.
yeah. It's so weird.
I
Too.
just can't believe it. If you told me, I remember like at the peak.
Oh no, he beat Tony Ferguson in December.
Paddy Pimblett?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he fights Bobby Green at
that's
the
right.
end of
Oh
June.
shit.
Fights Bobby Green. That's who I'm thinking of. I hope Bobby Green hurts him bad.
Yeah.
That'll be great. Bobby Green's the
He
man.
hurts him bad.
But yeah, Tony Ferguson. I remember I went to a concert when it was the weekend of, or the week before Tony Khabib, like before it was called off because he tripped over the cable or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just remember that was like,
Fergie.
even if Ferguson would have lost that fight, I still wish it happened. I still wish it would have happened.
Yeah. That's
because that would just be a crazy notch for Khabib. Not that he needs any extra notches, really, but like to take down Ferguson on a 12-fight win streak with the interim belt
true. Yeah.
for what, your first defense, right? It would have been his first defense was against Ferguson. Or was it supposed to be Conor? What was the order of the Khabib defenses? It was Conor, Gaethje. It was Conor, Poirier, Gaethje.
That's a crazy first defense to have to.
It was Conor, Poirier, Gaethje in some order, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
But it's fucked up, and he finished all 3 of them.
that's a
dude.
gauntlet. That's a straight up gauntlet.
And who has Islam had? Islam's had Volk twice and Poirier twice.
Dude, Volk is
And
he might
fucking
have just
monster.
Chucky
had Poirier
Olives.
once, I think.
Poirier, Volk, and Chucky Olives, I think, is his 4. Fuck. But that's a murderer's row
Yeah,
for
it is.
Khabib.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Is there a
like
tougher
challenge mode.
There must be a tougher. John Jones may have had a tougher 3-fight stretch.
Conor,
time.
Poirier, Gaethje were Khabib's defenses.
And then he won the belt on fucking it was somebody
you know what?
hilarious.
Yeah,
Wasn't it Ali Quinta?
Yeah, Raging
that he-
Al.
I think you're right about John Jones. I think he would have probably had a. John Jones also.
a tougher 3-man stretch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think. But John Jones fought everybody. At least as long as he could, until he had some issues there.
Yeah.
Let me look at
What would it
his,
be? It'd be
record.
like it'd be like Rampage, Gustafson, DC. It was Gustafson, then DC. Who did he fight before Gustafson? Evans?
John Jones cleared that fucking division out before he started.
I mean, it was
getting
ridiculous.
Gustafson, I think.
It was
Yeah.
ridiculous what he did.
But I'm thinking that,
I mean, come on. Oh my
Let me
god.
see.
Look at this. Belfort, Sonnen, Gustafson, Teixeira, Cormier, and Oven St. Preux in a row beats all of those guys.
we'll go all the way to the beginning.
This is ridiculous. And then Rashad Evans, he beat Lyoto Machida, Quentin Jackson, Shogun.
Yeah, he won it off.
I mean, come
Shogun.
on, dude. It's so stupid who he's beating.
And he decisioned Rashad and Gustafson. Okay, yeah, he started getting decisions once he fought Gustafson.
There was the Cormier no contest.
Yep. Which, I mean, we all saw who won that fight.
Come on.
I think the
It's
3 of
just
us
so
watched that
stupid.
fight together.
It just isn't.
think
It's
so,
not even
yeah.
fair who he beat. I mean, those guys are. I mean, a lot of them are former champions. I would say at least 3 of those guys are former champions, right? Shogun was a champ.
You got Machida, you got
Cormier.
Cormier.
Yeah.
You got Shogun. You got Rashad Evans, Rampage Jackson.
Yep, he fought Dominic Reyes.
You got Chael Sonnen,
He
who's never
fought-
lost a round.
Chael Sonnen's never lost a round. I mean, it's just it's literally the Mortal Kombat
Cyril
hard
Gane.
tower. It's the tower at all the way to the right.
The way
When you're playing
he
Mortal
just
Kombat.
manhandled Cyril Gane was hilarious, and the way that Gane came out in that fight was like when Michael Spinks came out against Tyson, and he just was. You know what I'm talking about, Bill?
No,
Oh
really.
man, when you chuckle like that, I got excited.
Boxing guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Khabib's up there. Silva had a crazy stretch. Obviously, GSP had a crazy run.
Yeah, GSP was in a different era too, though. Like it was, he beat former champs, but he was like the champ for a long time. So you just couldn't handle him. It was just so hard to deal with. Like you were on your back. There's just nothing you can do about it.
Usman had a pretty solid stretch of
Yeah,
fucking
he was.
defensive,
You
dude.
were on your back though.
Yeah.
Like he was just like he was overwhelming.
And Usman was like, I didn't think anyone was ever beating fucking Tyron Woodley. And
No,
then
dude,
Usman
not-
just shows up and he's literally just Woodley but better.
Yeah,
he says I'm
literally. He's the
levels above you."
Charizard to his Charmeleon.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was fucking
Kamaru
wild.
was he's gonna be one of those guys that's like not really like touted too, because he like you're gonna know about him, but I don't think it's gonna be like you have to really make a name for yourself
Who's
now.
the welterweight champ now? Leon Edwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leon's good. You know?
Leon fucking bodied Usman in the rematch, which was the funniest possible outcome for sure.
Yep.
I just hope Poatan saves the day and comes out for the fucking card this month. He says he's always fucking in shape to fight, and I believe him, dude.
I hope Lesnar shows up.
Can you imagine Poatan Lesnar?
Oh my god.
What if Randy Orton shows up and
Randy
and
Couture?
fucking screws up everything? You know what I
Randy
mean?
Couture
Comes in. I have voices in my head. Just shows up and causes chaos
I love it.
for no reason.
Let's get Eugene versus Couture.
I know.
For the lightweight
bring back
title.
Eugene.
All right,
Actually
ready for
bring
food
back
or
Eugene.
object? Do we
Oh,
have food
shit.
or object?
Yeah, I might have some.
There was this thing I saw on UFC subreddit that was like matching up like historical greats against current greats. I want to see if I can find it actually. Before we get to food or object, that was the one thing I did want to break.
Shit, I don't have any left. We used them all. Do you have any?
Yeah, I have some.
I bet I can come up with some.
Happened here?
Where you got all chewed up.
Yeah, it was like a scrape or something.
Oh, there you go.
Line on my arm.
That's that fentanyl
The track marks.
starting to.
kick in, dude. Okay, so this isn't food or object, but this is just a hypothetical UFC matchups thing that I found earlier that I thought was cool. So it's Prime versus Prime, right? We're gonna start from the lightweight.
Like the drink?
No, like these fighters are in their prime.
Oh,
Like
that's
each
the
fighter
only
is at
thing
their
I know.
best. So it's not gonna be like present day guys. It's not gonna be like 45-year-old fucking whoever against. You know what I'm talking about. So Mighty Mouse. This one's wicked easy. Mighty Mouse versus Brendan Moreno.
Well, okay.
Oh, jeez.
Mighty Mouse versus any other flyweight is
In his
gonna
prime
is
scary.
winning.
And
Is winning that.
most bantams.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, to be fair,
bantam.
yeah.
For bantamweight, hilariously enough, they pick Dominic Cruz versus Sean O'Malley.
Yeah.
I think you gotta go O'Malley there.
Do ya? You think O'Malley beats Cruz?
I think O'Malley's beating guys who beat Cruz.
That's a fact too.
Yes, but Dom wasn't in his prime. I think his prime was like towards the end of WEC.
But this is the other thing
Dude,
too. Is
he was his movement. Like if you watch Dominic Cruz,
fucked up.
it's so hard to time that guy. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's very scary. I wonder about that.
I think if Sean O'Malley is going to beat Cruz, it's going to be by flash knockout in the beginning. Otherwise, I got Cruz.
Cruz's head was
I
never
got
in the
cruising
same
to
spot.
a decision. this one's fun because we've already seen it, but I guess he wasn't in his prime. Prime Aldo versus Prime Volkanovski.
Oh,
That was a tough one for me because I really think I like Volk,
yeah.
but I also think I'm biased because I wasn't really around for most of Aldo's prime.
Aldo's another guy like WEC.
Like Aldo was one of those guys. He was the first guy to really throw leg kicks as much as
Yeah.
he did, and like because of that, Volk knows how to counter him. But also, Aldo was such a freak athlete. Like right around the time when McGregor
I
snuffed
remember
him, he was a freak, dude.
Like the first Shogun Machida fight was the first time I was like, leg kicks are effective.
Yeah,
Because Shogun was lighting Machida up with that.
I mean,
His front leg.
I think Volk might be tanky enough to counteract Aldo's power.
yeah.
Aldo's fast.
I took Volk over Aldo personally.
Aldo's more creative though.
Yeah.
I think with his strikes.
You know,
That's definitely going to be a fight where it's not nobody gets finished. Unlike this one, where I have this one's Khabib versus Islam.
It's Khabib, I think.
I have Khabib by Big Brother syndrome.
I don't know.
Because no matter how tough you get, your big brother is always going to beat the shit out of you.
I
And-
really don't know, man.
and-
Islam's wrestling, like if you actually like watch him wrestle, like it looks every bit as dominant as Khabib's did, and then he
I
has
agree.
the other dimensions to his game.
I think on paper, Islam is objectively better than Khabib. However, Khabib wins via Big Brother syndrome in the fifth.
And the sad part is fucking
It's just hard
dude.
to
They
say
could have
that.
fucking had it. So Khabib would have probably moved up to 170 by now. You would have Islam at 155, and you could have had. Wait, was Zabit 145?
Yeah.
Zabit could have been fucking what Islam is for 155.
Dude,
by now.
Zabit is my biggest what if. And now it's Dr. Magomed Sharapov to you.
Yeah.
Fucking legend.
What a chad.
Let's see. And then we got Prime Usman versus Prime GSP. GSP takes that. But it's very, very close. But
Yeah,
I think
that's like
Prime Usman would be the toughest guy. For me, all-time welterweights, they're right there.
That's a striking thing, I think.
Yeah,
Like,
it turns into like GSP's volume versus Usman's power at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, because GSP was never a power guy. He was
No.
just
I think-
like overwhelming sort of.
Yeah, yeah.
GSP handled power guys all right, at least.
Well, like surprisingly enough, like at certain points he would knock guys out. Like like Matt Serra finished him, and then he came back and knocked out Matt Serra. So
Mhm.
he didn't not have power. It's just it wasn't his game.
This one's really funny to me because I thought the idea of this Reddit post was to have like guys that are champions now versus guys that were champions back then. But for the middleweight division, it's fucking Izzy versus Kamzat.
All
But
right.
instead of that, what if we just did Prime Izzy versus Prime Silva, which is just Silva wins.
Yeah. They're very similar.
They're very similar, and some would argue that maybe Izzy's better, but Silva is just way stronger. He's just way stronger.
If you're
than-
talking prime Anderson,
you're
it's just
fucking
too
done.
scary.
Yeah, you're done. And then we got Prime Poetan versus Prime DC, which is hilarious. DC ragdolls him in the first and finishes him.
DC was disgusting.
DC's fought. I mean, you got to even wonder if Poetan can beat Derek Lewis in his prime before you ask if he can beat DC in his
Yeah,
prime.
yeah.
You gotta,
Like,
yeah, like
That is a good point.
he went like basically 50-50 with fucking Blachowicz.
yeah.
Yeah. DC was scary, dude. His control was really good for
Yeah.
heavyweight.
Yeah, dude, the Black Fedor.
I mean, it was like he would pressure the shit out of guys against the cage.
He's nasty. Fucking nasty. It's a shame that he was never able to beat John Jones. And then speaking of Jones, it's Prime Jones versus Prime Francis, but I think it's weird to have Jones in the heavyweight tier against a guy that was champion like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a.
But I don't think there's a single person that can beat Jones in his prime. So
Right,
it doesn't
that's what I'm
matter who you
saying.
put
Like
there.
I don't think Prime and Gano is like that much different from what you see even a couple years later.
Yeah.
It's like he's really just a power guy, and he's looking for that. You know what he's looking for is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
And Jones, when he knows what you're looking for, is a scary guy. I mean,
that's
it's
why.
not-
That's why whenever he's rematched people, he's always finished them.
Yeah.
Like he fucking. It's almost like he fights the same way, or he tries to approach every fight the same way on purpose, and then kind of just, I don't know. The dude is a fucking cerebral assassin.
Well, because if
but
you approach
it's
the
a
same
shame.
way, if you approach a rematch the same way, you know how they're gonna counter it,
yeah,
and that's not their game plan either.
mm-mm.
Their game plan is not for you to come out the same way. They think you're going to adjust, which is actually the smartest way to do it. Is just come out the same fucking way, do it again, and fucking
swang and bang, dude.
Yep.
But yeah, I didn't have food or object. I just had hypothetical UFC matchups.
Yeah, I don't have it either. I'll make some for next
Yeah.
episode.
Um,
We got 2 weeks before the next one, and we'll be back. Yeah, again, follow the wrestling show. That's all over the place. It's
be
got
on the
all of
lookout
its-
for Twitch streams and YouTube streams
Twitch.
and all that jazz.
Yeah, I know. We really are. We would like to start doing YouTube streams, like gaming streams.
Oh, I seen you guys talking on the last one about doing like sketches and stuff.
I don't
That's-
think-
I would like to do sketches, but I don't know if he's not an actor. You know what I mean?
That's not that hard. You just gotta.
I got some sketch ideas.
Yeah, I got ideas all day. It's just I need like. It's you come up with ideas for sketches and then you actually have to try to think and break it down. It's like, okay, how would this actually like be possible to shoot?
Yeah. I know. There's like a lot of things where I'm like, I kind of need special effects and shit.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like I got this idea for a sketch, but it's gonna take like $150 in makeup, and we're all gonna have to like paint our faces like dogs.
Well, that's fine, but we could do that. We can get into the dog situation.
Yep.
Yeah, if we want to do dog face paint, that's fine.
Fake noses.
Yeah. Well, it's like I don't know. It's like sometimes you get ideas. That's all I'm saying. You get ideas, things would be funny. It's just putting them into making it practical enough to do it. But nowadays, shit, I had fucking sketch ideas when I was like 16, but like we had digital cameras that were not good. And then they'd run out of battery, your AA's or whatever, and then you're screwed. You don't have then when you do shoot it, you now have to patch in like you somehow have to get into like Windows Movie Maker or something back then, and then put all these things. You got to plug in your camera to your computer, pull these files off, somehow mash them together in Windows Movie Maker with the spinning animations with the text that shows up real quick. I don't know. It was too much back then. And a lot of those digital cameras, if you didn't have a lot of money, they were bad. And they were going the whole time while you're recording. And that's just not fun. Just isn't good. And the resolution was bad back then. Everything was bad. It was good back then.
Yeah, the fucking watermark, whatever free website you
And then
use.
and then it's Windows Movie Maker on
Justin.tv.
Yeah. Unregistered Hypercam 2.
Classic, dude.
I always thought that was unfair. Like,
What is
my
Hypercam?
name's not even Justin.
What is Hypercam? It's never registered, I'll tell you that right now. No one's ever had registered Hypercam 2. If you've had registered Hypercam 2, please let us know.
That's how you get on those like federal lists.
Yeah.
It automatically signs you up for fucking Tor browser.
Yeah. Yep. All right. I guess that's it. We'll call it.
Unreal.
Jake Jones 2024.
Yep.
All right.
Skinner Jones 24. Burn the boat, baby. Don't forget it.
Yep. All right. Thanks for coming, Bill.
Thank you guys for having me.
It was nice.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Good session.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Peace.